And my confession is this. The Jewish community was very well settled and integrated. Hundreds of years Jews were living in Holland. My own family goes back to 1789. The Jews were speaking the same language as the Gentiles. At school, you were together with the Gentiles, and I have to tell you that in Dutch schools it is forbidden to ask your religion. I didn't hear a word Yiddish before I came to Israel, and when I came, they asked my baby son of nearly 4 years, "Is your mother a Goye? That she doesn't speak Yiddish?" And he came to me and he didn't ask what is Yiddish, he asked, "Mother, what is a Goye?" The Jews in Holland didn't live in ghettos. Oh yes, there was a big proletariat living openly together in Amsterdam. Between them were Gentiles. Never a schuna, what we call, where a lot of Jews were living, could be closed or was apart from another part of the town. We were wearing, the Jews in Holland, the same clothes. I never saw a stremel, I never saw a kaftan, and surely never saw earlocks. What happened to the Jews in Germany? Oh yes, we did know. We know. But you have to know the standard of Jews living in Holland. We thought we were a lot better than the German Jews. The German Jews were so loud, they were so imprudent. We were a lot better, we thought. And next to it, the Dutch Gentiles, they wouldn't allow what happened in Germany to the German Jews. I am born in Rotterdam as the daughter of a well-to-do middle-class family. I went to girls' schools, I got my matriculation, I went to a seminar and became a kindergarten. And there was a saying in our family that when you could play Plaisir d'amour or Für Elise on the piano, then you was ripe for marriage. I didn't play the piano and surely not Plaisir d'amour. I played hockey and tennis. I had been in a discussion club. But in March 1940, there has been a ball. And it has been the first and the last ball of my youth. There was only one good thing about it. I met my fiancé. I have to tell you a terrible thing. This ball was in order to get money together for the Jewish German evacuees, and therefore you had to dance and to play. It all went till the 10th of May 1940. The Germans came as thieves in the night. They came over the bridges, the waterlinie, by air as parachutists in Dutch uniforms. They came till the bridges of Rotterdam, and only after most of the city was destroyed by a heavy bombardment, Holland had to surrender after 4 days of fighting. 14 May 1940. Our house in the west part of the town was spared of being demolished. At evening, 3 rows of tanks were standing in our street, and as we already were making ourselves ready to go to bed, because after all these days of fighting and your country being in war, even you have to sleep, suddenly the bell was ringing and somebody was knocking at the door. And they were shouting, "Open the door, open the door." My parents panicked, thought they came to catch us. I went down to open the door, and a young soldier stood before me, asking for water. With this event, our rest never came back, and from this moment we were living in continuous fear. A year of relative quiet followed, and this lessened our anxiety, but also our watchfulness. Summer 1941. We were deprived from our existences. Shops were closed, bought for nothing by Dutch Nazis or German civilians. We were thrown out of our houses and had to move in the middle of a terrible cold winter, snow knee-deep high, or how you call it, to find another house during 1 week. Restrictions came in August 41. Jews were not allowed to have house help. No use of public transport as tramways and buses. Separate hours for shopping. After 7 o'clock in the evening, not to be allowed outdoors. The Jews had to give up bank savings, bank accounts. Bank secrets were not held anymore. And they have to bring in silverware, copper, jewelry and diamonds. Jews got 250 guilders a month for living. That was a very poor living. The support of the Dutch population was wholehearted. They did our shopping, they helped phoning, but suddenly there was a difference between the Dutch Jews and the Dutch Gentiles. There occurred a specimen for whole Europe. The Dutch strike came. In whole Europe, it did not happen. Dock workers in Amsterdam, Philips workers in Leiden, shipyards in Rotterdam were closed, tramway personnel went out. 20,000 workers walked out and became demonstrators against these restrictions for the Jews. The Germans broke down this strike after 2 days. 425 Amsterdam Jews were arrested. 2,000 Dutch inhabitants were sent to Buchenwald, later to Austria and Mauthausen. Heavy fines were imposed on the towns where the strikes occurred. Only Amsterdam had to pay 15 million Dutch guilders. You know, I have to tell you why the Dutch demonstrated. Because there was a saying, and that was, "We don't love Jews, but they are our Jews, and don't touch them." The Dutch are famous for to be gentle to their underdog. And I like you to remember the Spanish Jews of Inquisition who got a good home in Holland, the French Huguenots, the South African Boerenwar with Paul Kruger, Het zal recht komen, and the German refugees in the 30 years.